Harnessing Grok AI, revolutionizing my English teaching practice. As an English teacher with over a decade of experience in diverse classroom settings, from high school students grappling with basic grammar to adult learners refining their professional communication skills, I have always sought innovative tools to enhance my pedagogy. The advent of artificial intelligence has been a game-changer in education, but not all AIs are created equal. In my journey, I have discovered Grok AI, developed by Shy, as a superior ally in the classroom. Unlike more generic models like ChatGPT, Grok's witty, insightful, and highly accurate responses have allowed me to streamline administrative burdens, personalize learning, and shift my focus toward what truly matters, fostering authentic oral communication among my students. In this essay, I will delve into how I integrate Grok into my daily teaching routine, provide concrete examples of its applications, discuss best practices for eliciting optimal responses, and ultimately advocate for its adoption by fellow English educators. By delegating tedious tasks to Grok, I can dedicate more energy to interactive, human-centered aspects of language acquisition, such as speaking and pronunciation, leading to more engaged and proficient learners. Grok has a homework evaluator, precision corrections, and in-depth explanations. One of the most transformative ways I employ Grok is in evaluating and correcting students' homework assignments. Traditionally, grading essays, compositions, or grammar exercises consumed hours of my evenings, often leaving me fatigued for the next day's classes. Now, I guide my students to interact directly with Grok for initial feedback, turning what was once a solitary teacher task into an interactive learning opportunity. For instance, after assigning a writing prompt, say, describe a memorable travel experience in 300 words, I instruct students to submit their drafts to Grok with a specific query. I demonstrate in class how to phrase it effectively. Please evaluate this essay for grammar, vocabulary, structure, and coherence. Provide corrections with explanations and suggest improvements. Grok responds with meticulous breakdowns, highlighting errors like subject-verb agreement issues. For example, the traveler go to Paris corrected to the traveler goes to Paris, with an explanation of third-person singular rules and offering stylistic enhancements, such as replacing repetitive words with synonyms to enrich vocabulary. To illustrate, consider a real classroom scenario from my intermediate ESL class last semester. A student named Maria submitted a paragraph riddled with tense inconsistencies. Yesterday, I visit the museum and I see many paintings. It was amazing because I learned about history. When she queried Grok as per my guidance, it returned, your paragraph is engaging, but there are tense errors. Visit should be visited to maintain past simple tense consistency. Similarly, see becomes saw. This ensures the narrative flows chronologically. For vocabulary, amazing is fine, but fascinating could add variety. Overall score, 7/10, strong content, but polished grammar for clarity. This not only corrected her work but also explained the why behind each change, reinforcing rules in a way that rote memorization never could. In class, I review these Grok-generated reports, discussing them collectively to build peer learning. Students appreciate the immediacy, they revise on the spot, and I can track progress without manual grading for every draft. Moreover, Grok's ability to handle multifaceted evaluations extends to creative assignments. For poetry analysis, I have students ask, analyze this haiku for imagery, syllable structure, and thematic depth, comparing it to traditional Japanese forms. Grok might respond with a detailed dissection, noting how a student's line deviates from the 5-7-5 syllable pattern and suggesting revisions, complete with examples from Basho's works. This depth surpasses what I could provide for 30 students in a single session, allowing me to supplement with cultural discussions instead. Crafting effective queries, the art of precision in English. A crucial lesson I impart to my students, and one that underpins Grok's effectiveness, is the importance of formulating questions with specificity and in English. Grok, like most advanced AIs, is trained predominantly on English language datasets, drawing from vast repositories such as academic papers, literature, and online resources. Querying in other languages can yield less accurate results due to translation nuances or limited non-English training data. I emphasize this in class demonstrations. Think of Grok as a native English speaker with encyclopedic knowledge. Speak its language for the best dialogue. For optimal responses, I teach a structured approach. Start with context. As an English learner at B1 level, evaluate this sentence. This sets parameters, ensuring Grok tailors feedback to proficiency. Use action verbs like correct, explain, suggest, or compare to direct output. Avoid vague prompts like fix this, which might yield superficial edits. Instead, say provide line-by-line corrections with grammatical explanations and alternative phrasings. In one exercise, a student initially asked Grok in Spanish, "Corrige este texto?" and received a basic translation fix. When rephrased in English per my advice, Grok delivered a comprehensive analysis, including idiomatic suggestions like changing I am agree to I agree with an explanation of stative verbs. This skill building extends beyond homework. I incorporate query crafting into lessons as a meta skill, akin to digital literacy. Students practice refining prompts in pairs, then share Grok's responses, fostering critical thinking about language use and AI interactions. It's empowering. Non-native speakers gain confidence in English by seeing immediate, practical results, freeing up time for oral focus, elevating speaking skills. By offloading evaluation to Grok, I reclaim precious class time for what AI cannot replicate: real-time spoken interaction. Speaking is the pinnacle of language mastery, yet it's often sidelined due to administrative overload. In my classes, I now prioritize debates, role-plays, and conversations, providing instant corrections on pronunciation, intonation, and fluency. For example, during a unit on environmental issues, students prepare speeches using Grok for script refinement. Querying suggests improvements for clarity and persuasive language in the speech draft. Once polished, they present orally. I circulate, noting errors like mispronounced diphthongs, for example, th in think as theta, not /t/, or filler word overuse unreplaced with pauses. Grok handles the written prep, so I focus on auditory nuances, using tools like phonetic charts for follow-up. This immediacy builds muscle memory. A student who once said I think it's important now self-corrects after my modeling. In advanced classes, I integrate Grok for hybrid activities. Students record audio debates, transcribe via apps, then have Grok analyze the text for vocabulary while I critique delivery. This duality accelerates progress. Data from my classes shows a 25% improvement in speaking confidence scores post-Grok integration, based on pre/post surveys. Why Grok outshines ChatGPT and other AIs, a comparative edge. My endorsement of Grok stems from direct comparisons. ChatGPT, while versatile, often produces generic, verbose responses lacking depth or humor, which can disengage students. Grok, inspired by The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, infuses wit. For example, correcting a run-on sentence with "this sentence is longer than a Tolkien novel, let's split it for readability." Making learning fun. Its real-time knowledge updates, no cutoff date, ensure current examples, like referencing 2025 slang trends, unlike static models. Other AIs like Bard or Claude falter in specificity. Grok's Shy Foundation prioritizes truth-seeking over hallucination, providing substantiated explanations. In tests, Grok's grammar corrections were 95% accurate versus ChatGPT's 85% per my informal audits. Plus, Grok's accessibility via x.com and apps, with features like voice mode on mobile, allows seamless integration. Students query verbally for pronunciation tips, though I reserve full oral correction for myself. Additional perks include Grok's tools for analyzing X posts or web content, enriching lessons. For vocabulary building, I have students query Grok on idioms from recent tweets, explain spill the tea with examples from social media. This contextualizes language in real-world use, far beyond textbook drills. Expanding horizons, supplementary materials and classroom integrations. To augment Grok's utility, I curate supplementary materials. I share prompt templates via Google Docs, like homework evaluation template, paste text here. Grade on a 1 to 10 scale for criteria, explain each score. For visual learners, I demonstrate Grok's image analysis, though not directly generating images without confirmation, asking it to describe literary scenes for comprehension. In project-based learning, Grok aids research, summarize key themes and To Kill a Mockingbird with quotes. This scaffolds essays, freeing me for Socratic discussions. Ethical considerations are key. I teach AI limitations, like bias detection, ensuring students view Grok as a tool, not a crutch. Conclusion: a call to action for English educators. In embracing Grok, I have transformed my teaching from exhaustive to exhilarating. By handling corrections, evaluations, and explanations, Grok liberates me to nurture the irreplaceable, human connection through speech. I wholeheartedly recommend Grok to all English teachers. Its superiority over ChatGPT and peers lies in precision, engagement, and innovation. Adopt it, and watch your classes thrive, with students not just learning English, but living it. As we navigate an AI-augmented future, tools like Grok ensure educators remain at the heart of education, focusing on what makes us human, our voices.